Hello, hello. Oh, happy day. It's time to create. This is part 3 of the Junky Junk Journal. The gift bag made into a journal. We're going to start decorating the pages. All of the pages are in. There are 2 signatures. And this is part of the gusset of the gift bag that was there. I mean, we'll do something with that eventually. I will eventually put some type of closure and cover on it, but I don't do that until the end usually because I like to see the vibe of the book. And I've never done a book like this before, so I am really excited. This book is going to be holding all of the little things that I collect out there in the world because I'm that girl. I'm the collector. I kind of hold on to things like programs from wrestling tournaments just because it represents a day and a time in my life that brings me a lot of joy, and so I want to get them down in books. Now, I had said I've been collecting these kinds of, it's called ephemera, like the tickets, this little box from the hotel with the soap for the hotel from that weekend, and I remember thinking, ooh, fancy. I use bar soap, and you don't see that very often in hotels. Of this nature in a little box. Usually they're in a little bag and they're super thin. This was really quite nice. All right. So I save it because it's part of the memory of that weekend. So these are the kinds of things that I'm going to be putting in this book. Tickets, stubs, things of that nature. But I've never done this before. So bear with me. I had said that, unfortunately what's going to happen is my first few books are going to be really out of whack in terms of time frame. This just happened this December, but I've been saving this kind of stuff my whole life. So I'm going to be coming across junk drawers with this kind of stuff and putting them in these books, and the timing will be off. The timing will not be correct. Hold on, I'm going to shut this door. Shut this light, shut this door, because I got my iRobot vacuuming in the room right next to us, and she just went by, and it was a little loud. So let's do that instead. We close the door. I'm going to turn up this light. Here we go. Actually, it's a little dark on this side of the table, so let's see if we can make an adjustment. Okay, so we're going to be putting these things inside these books, and I'm super excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to start with this because I think it's going to be a comfort zone for me. I have just a few things. I'm going to look through my bin here. A few things from that particular weekend. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. And we're going to start a page with that. And I may be also, besides getting this stuff in the book, I'll be journaling probably a little bit. I'm going to skip this page because I think this page I will do something as a way of intro. I'll write something down as a way of intro to what this book is about. And we'll start with this. And I did not know until I saw this. I couldn't remember the dates of when this wrestling tournament was. These are the dates. So this is what we're starting with. I'm going to lay out what we have. This was our parking ticket, I believe, to the event center. Here's our hotel room key. I told you guys, I normally ask my family to turn these in because they do reuse them. I'm such a big, advocate of recycling, but we get several keys because there's 4 of us. And sometimes I'll be doing laundry and find something like this in one of my family members' pockets. So I'm sure that's what this was. It was we forgot to hand it in, so we still have it. It's going to go in this book. It's from our room number at the hotel that we stayed at the hotel that weekend. And this little lovely was in the bleachers. It is the perfect size for an ATC card. It cracked me up. We had been sitting in the bleachers. Oh my gosh, it was 2 days in a row of sitting, and you tend to go to the same spot throughout the whole tournament of where you sit. We do anyway. And so we, perched our little spot the second day. And when I got up to the bleachers of our certain spot, this was sitting on the bleacher, and I just could not believe it. So of course I had to keep it. It was unclaimed. Someone left it behind. I don't know how it got into the area where we were sitting, but I was like, yes, ma'am, I will take that. Okay. So I'm not keeping all of this. I think what I'm going to do is take portions of this, and then the weight class for my son, if I can find his weight class, his name will be in there, and I'm going to grab that and I'm going to circle it or do something to showcase him on this page. Where are you, Landon? That's 145. He's 152. So it's going to be here. There he is. Landon Kurtz, Devil's Lake. So that page is important. The rest of those pages I don't necessarily need. You know, his teammates' names are on those pages, but I don't need those other weight classes for my book. And I didn't even know this was here. I did not even know that that whole weekend we had this book there. I cannot believe this is here. I'm totally keeping this. This has got to be kept. Past champions of the tournament and the national anthem singers. That's really nice that they give them these little 8th graders. I mean, they do such a lovely... Can you imagine how nerve-wracking it is to get in front of a stadium full of people and sing the national anthem? Kudos to you, Brielle and Skylar, for doing that. I mean, all the kids who are voluntold, as my kids like to say. I was volunteered to do something, and they say, no, Mom, I was voluntold. I didn't really volunteer. I was told that I was going to do that for student council. I was going to do that for some of the groups that they belong to. They crack me up. I love that I don't know if they came up with that phrase or if it was somebody else's phrase and they adopted it, but I love that they have that little phrase for themselves, that they were voluntold. Okay. I need to decide. This will all get thrown out. That I'm not going to keep. Like I said, it's just irrelevant for what I'm doing here. I have to decide what of this I want to keep. And you could photocopy, if like you absolutely wanted to keep both pages of this and put it in your book, you could absolutely photocopy and reprint, right? I don't care about the point system. I don't necessarily care about the schedule. I do like the teams and coaches, and I do like this lion. So the team and coaches end there. I can get both. But I can't have both the team and coaches on this original yellow paper and the Mandan Lions 58. You know, I can't get that. So I think I will take the lion, and I will take this because it says Mandan Lions Wrestling Tournament on the top. So I'll take those two things, and I think I'm going to tear them out with a tear ruler. Like I'll just use a metal ruler to tear them instead of cutting them with scissors. And we're going to get these down to a size that's going to work for these pages. And I don't know. I'm going to glue them in. I don't know in what fashion. I think I'm going to go from this side. It's probably not going to be straight, but I don't, you know me, straight isn't the issue. I'm not worried about all that. We're going to get it down to the smallest size I can have. And I don't know, I may even end up folding it and putting it in the book somehow. We're just going to have to see. Now, these have very tight margins all the way around, but this has this bigger margin. So I am actually going to tear that down too, so that the margin is a little closer like the rest of it. And thankfully, that paper was very easy to rip. Okay, so I wanted that. And I want the lion. So let's get the lion. I don't need the rest of it, do I? Just in case I want to keep that word wrestling, I'm just going to tear this way first. And then we're going to tear the lion out. I may even fussy cut him out. We'll see. Because this is a lot of yellow. This book is going to be very bright. That's why when I saw the gift bag, I'm like, I've been wanting to do a book like this for a long time. And then I told you guys this was totally inspired. My action was inspired by Thrifty Day, that channel here on YouTube. I discovered the woman's name is Leah. I didn't even know at the time what her name was, but I was inspired by her channel and the kinds of books she creates, which are similar to this. I won't even say they are like hers because hers are freaking amazing. But this kind of bright and modern style is what she mainly seems to do. And I love this style. I just don't do it often enough. So I decided this is based on my being inspired by her, that I was going to use this little gift bag that had just torn. The timing was just right. It had torn and we were going to do something bright. So we're going to skip that because remember, I'm going to do some kind of like intro page, and we're going to end up gluing all of these things. Now this, I can't believe this was in here. I can't believe this was in here, and I kind of want to keep this. Well, Lennon's wrestling season is almost over. He's got 2 weeks left. I could have used this help a couple of years ago when he started wrestling. But I think what I'll end up doing with this is maybe we'll fold it in a way that we can include it with this, but I'm not going to, obviously I can't put the whole thing in there. I cannot. This is so funny. But maybe I can accordion fold this. Maybe I'll get rid of that, the edging too, just to make it as small as possible. You see, on this, let's just, those skinny strips are sometimes hard to tear with a ruler. So we're just gonna lop off some of this excess paper. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're trying to fit it in on a page and you have limited space, and especially with folding, I want to fold it down to make it smaller. I think it would be easier to do with just a little bit less paper if possible. So here we go. I would love to know how you're doing today. Please say hello in the comments. Let me know what you've been up to creatively. That was Cricket. Oh well. What are you creating? What are you doing? What's making your heart happy lately in terms of creative time? That seems so wonky. Why does that fold seem so wonky? I'm gonna accordion this. I'll get 3. But see how then it looks like they're individual blocks. Not perfect, doesn't matter to me. And then I'm gonna fold this even down to something that I think I'll probably make a little pocket for it. Stop blood injury clock. Isn't that crazy that you have a sport that, okay, there's bleeding on the mat. You need to, like, we stop everything and we clean everything up. Misconduct. This is probably one of the most common. If you asked a ref, what's the most common symbol or signal that you have to give? That might be it. We're going to fold this down and I'll probably make a little pocket for it because that's too fabulous not to keep. Now, it is very bulky. I could put it under something heavy overnight and it will flatten this baby out like you wouldn't believe. But for now, I'm just going to put some clips on that to hold that. I needed to get it down to that point so I knew what size I was working with how am I going to get this on this page. So now that I know, here are the things that I want to put in here. We're going to start playing with placement. I actually don't need this right now, so I'll put it aside. And then here we have Landon's name. Oh, this side, here he is. Wait, 152. I won't keep the whole sheet. What do I keep? I would like this, and I want this with his name. So let's do it and not worry about what's all in between. We'll make it work. I'll either make a tag with those two things or stuff it in the same pocket, then I'm going to stuff that other thing. But the color is rather bright, which is nice. You know, I'm going to love working with these bright colors. Uh-oh, I really did that one wonky. Look at that, baby. Hello, Gracie. What were you thinking? There we go. It's a little better. And then here, I just am going for the names. So I think what I'm going to do is this. Just tear it down to the names of the kids who participated with him in this tournament. These skinny strips are kind of hard to do, particularly if your paper is thick or textured. This is a rather thin paper, so it's not that hard to do. But sometimes you just have to pull out your scissors. This paper, thankfully, is being very easy to tear. Okay, so this is what we're down to. Oh my gosh, this is fun. All right, so let's see. Where to begin? Where to begin? These two kind of have to go together, I think. And there's Lennon's name. So I think I'll put this right in the middle like that because Lennon's name is right, the first name there. But let's just see about how much real estate do I need for this stuff? Meaning how many surface pages do I need? Because I have one full one and this one's like 2/3. Am I going to need to flip and put some on this side too? I don't know. I don't know yet. But I could do the hotel stuff if I separated. This doesn't, oh, it will fit. Oh my gosh, that would fit there. Particularly if I cut this down just a little further. It fits on there. So if I did that, and I don't necessarily need to know all of the other coaches' names, right? But like, here's our coach here. That would be important to have his name on there. I'm going to cut this lion down. We're going to cut this baby. Not super fussy cutting, but not super fussy. Just cutting them out. Looks more like a sticker. I mean, honestly, when you think about when you used to scrapbook and you just wanted to get the ephemera, like the tickets and the, you know, all the things into your scrapbook, it's very similar to that. I'm not going to have photos in here necessarily. I don't think usually I'll have photos. It's just going to be the daily, like, things that I collect. But honestly, you could literally just glue things down, but it is kind of fun to be creative. I think like this, I could make a pocket, or this could become the pocket. It's wide enough, but you see how chunky that is? How the ticket wants to like pull up off the page quite a bit. So I can't glue it down super tight and straight. I'm going to need to glue or staple it down so that it has all that excess room for that chunky bit there. Does that make sense? So if I did it on this side, I think I will start with the bottom, and I'm not going to glue. What color do I have in here? Green works. I'll take green because there's a bit of green on here. I think I'm going to start on the bottom and staple, or paper clip. What's it called? I had to reset it. Okay, and that's going to allow me now to see. The thing is, I can't get this all the way in here. I'm going to have to pull out the big guns, or I'm going to use some other form of putting it down. Let me go grab the big, I got to find it. The big, I have grabbed it at a thrift store. Here, I have a storage spot for it that's just perfect. Hold on. I'm right here, girls, grabbing it. I got this at a thrift store in the office section one time. $2.99. But it gives, look at how far you can put your paper in. So this will reach there, where this one with that tiny short little spacing, it won't reach. So I better put some green paper clips in here. Why not? Let's do it. Let's take these and transfer them here. Just that little bit of extra effort will make me happy in the way that this will turn out. Okay, now I can reach right there. So I think I'll do this one. Right on the edge, and then stick this in here, and then do this one. That way I'm assuring that I have enough room. That's gonna be wonky. There. That way it has enough room for that thick thing there. Perfect. Totally worth the effort. Okay, that is super fun. You know, just gluing stuff down or attaching. It doesn't have to be glued, but attaching things. Like a fuzzy edge there. I love the contrast of the yellow with the pink for some reason. So I could kind of like the yellow here and the yellow there. It's tying it all together. I've got this little doodad. And again, let's just, what color did I have in here? Pink. That'll work because there's pink on the page. I'm going to just paper clip this on. It's like a pinky purple, but it's perfect for that. This, I don't mind it overlapping, like I said, some of the coaches' names, but we'll have all the names of the teams. And then I have all this stuff from the hotel, so I think I'm going to end up putting that over here, the hotel stuff. But in the meantime, he doesn't have to be within this paper. He could be kind of going over like that. This is very yellow, so I need to break it up with something. So maybe the ticket has to come over here. How will I do this? Like that would work. This blank space, not worried about it, because I can always put stickers or something in there. This actually fits back here with this, so I may just stick that in there. If I ever decide I want to use the ATC card, I'll glue him here. I think we're in good shape. I did buy myself some new glue sticks, which I'm excited about. But let's just grab this one because it's handy. Seemed to be about right there. That I needed some glue like that. Don't need glue there. Just wipe it off. And I don't think I got any on the back. Nope, I didn't. All right, now this. Let's just glue her down. I want this to be as enjoyable as paper collage for me. I don't want to ever stress too much about anything involved with this Junky junk journal. I'm going to call it a Junky junk journal. I don't think of these things as junk. My husband certainly would. When I keep stuff like this, he's like, why are you keeping that? Does anybody else? Can you understand that? My husband's like, what purpose is that serving? What do you... I don't know, it makes my heart happy to have these little memorabilia, these little keepsakes from a really great weekend that we had together as a family. I was just thinking the other day, this glue, I never have trouble getting it out, and then look at, then I spoke too soon, as they say. I'm going to glue this down to make it kind of like a little pocket, and then we'll stick the corner of this in there. I'm going to glue this down, but it will be stuck behind there. Like that. Yeah, I want this just to be fun and a great little keepsake for all the little sentimental things that I want to keep. What kinds of things do you keep? What kinds of things do you throw in your purse at the end of do you keep like movie tickets? Do you keep parking, passes, like parking tickets? What do you keep? I would love to know. I just find it very interesting because it says something about who we are as people. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, really, honestly, can I fit these two things on here and not have to flip a new page? I think I can because we have all this extra space. Now this is really stiff, so that's not really going to fit just anywhere. But if I pulled, this really needs to get flattened out, chunky monkey. That could fit right there. And then maybe I'll glue or hinge. Let's hinge this maybe. It doesn't have to be upright. We can go sideways with something. I could hinge it right there. That would be kind of cute. And then this little thing I'm going to end up cutting down. So let's hinge that right there with some washi tape. I'm looking at the colors of the washi tape that are up on the wall close to me and trying to pick something that would make sense here. That makes sense. Whoops, that came undone. All right, I just need a piece big enough for that. It has the grid lines, so there almost is no excuse to cut crooked, but and yet I still do. What do you think of that? Okay, I need something sharp because I can never get the tape off the backing without a little sharp helper. I kind of pick at the end like I don't have a nail to do that with. So I use an X-Acto knife or one of those pointy tools. So we're going to do this. It's going to hinge this way, so I need the tape here. Half of the tape will go on the card. Oops, it's a little crooked. Or it's not balanced. It's not in the middle. That's what I should say. Half the tape on the card. Half of it hanging off. And that's what we're going to... Oh, it's going to go this way. So we're going to stick that down on here so it hinges open and closed like that. And then the tape, you can't, it's like invisible tape, which is nice, right? You could always put more tape there if you really want to reinforce it, but I don't think we're going to need that. Then all I have left to commemorate this little weekend in December that my family had is this little face soap box. You guys, I just thought it was the cutest little thing. I don't know. Please tell me I'm not alone. I thought it was the cutest little thing. I'm like, I cannot throw that out. It is so freaking cute. I mean, really, you could use this to make a little tiny journal. How cute would that be? Put one tiny little signature in it. Should we do that? And leave the soap box as it is. If the binding would be too wide, like I wouldn't be able to like store it in there that way. I would have to store it this way if I was going to store it. And in fact, now that I see this on here, maybe I don't need to cut off everything. I'm going to flip these 3 things in for a visual. Like, so I can say, am I okay with cutting those off? Am I okay with losing? Like, what if I did it like that? That's fantastic, right? You could leave them in there, but it makes it pretty thick. So I'm going to take these out and cut them off and glue it down that way. That way I don't have to lose the entirety of the box, which is why I kept it, because I thought it was so stinking cute. So let's just kind of lob these off. And then that can go here. And in what way can it go there? How do I want to do this? I think... can't really see the staples from the back. I may just staple it on. It has to be either onto the right or left of this. I still have that little bit of blank space, but I'm okay with that. I think I'm going to staple this on here. Let's see if the stapler can get through all of that. I need to make sure. Oh, I can't get it in any closer to the middle because of the base here. So it's just going to have to be, oh, unless I use the other machine. If I use the other one, I could. That's why it's good to have a couple of staplers on hand. I'm going to go up a little from the tag here so that there's a difference. They're not here at the bottom, so that they're not lined up. I'm going to go up just a tish, like 1/4 of an inch, so that they're not looking like they're the same. And then let's put that in there. Yeah, that works. I'm good with that. Now this may want to keep falling out. And if that happens, I can use some sort of paper clip or something to hold them in. This really, honestly, if I put it under something super heavy overnight, you will be so surprised how flat you can get something like that. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Do I want to put one more? This book is going to be thick and chunky, ladies. Thick and chunky. I'm going to do 2 more here just to really hold that in place. And my first page is done. Oh my word, I'm so excited. I think I will do a little writing here or here. And you could do it like on a piece of paper and then glue it down, or you could just write directly in your book. Like we've always said, there are really no rules. But I am going to do a little bit of writing. Give me a second. I'm going to go grab... I want to grab, I just bought some new very micro pens with like really, what's it called? Like a really sharp tip. So give me a second. I'm going to go grab that. I'll be right back. These are the like, it says needle, 0.5 millimeters. Super smooth, non-skip writing, quick dry ink, no smearing. Bright colors. They actually had a few different options for this, and this one has a couple of black pens along with all these colors. So I was happy to get a precision writer to have black and some colors. I don't use bright colors very often, but it's nice to have the option for the happy mail that I'm sending out to club members. I've been writing postcards and notes out to them. It is really fun to be able to send a postcard with pink writing or blue writing or whatever. So on this page, depending on where I'm writing, I might want to use a different color, right? So lots of options here. I think I'm just going to go with standard black, to be honest with you. How boring is that, right? I just think it'll stand out more if I just use a black. Now, what do I want to write? So this trip was in December. All 4 of us went. I don't want to write about feelings or anything. This is really just a keepsake, but we have this space that we can write in. I think I'm going to write in here because although this is blank space and this is blank space, this has the decorative pattern on it. And so to me, that's a bit decorative, where this just looks like accidental white space. So I'd rather fill that in a little bit. So what do I want to write? When I'm not sure, before I go in on my project, I might write like here on this piece of paper, like I have this kind of space. So what would I want to write? Oops. Yeah, so I want to write something really simple. Look at, I have really a hard time getting the word wrestling in there in this narrow spot. So I'll have to be careful about that, or be creative about how I get wrestling in there. So I think I just a great weekend of family time and wrestling. And then I'm going to do hashtag Go Firebirds, because that's the high school mascot name is Firebirds. And that's the hashtag that they use whenever they're posting on social media about the athletic teams or the school in general, school activities. So I may even, I think I'm going to write everything in caps like this. Concentrating so I can't talk. Family time. I'm trying to spread this down so that it's filling this space a little bit, as opposed to here that's so tight to the top. I don't want to have this. I want to fill it in. A great weekend of family time. And we'll just do the symbol and. Oh, wrestling, it's going to be hard to fit it in here, but I'll do it. And I'm missing the G. Look at, that's hilarious. Hello, Gracie. I'm wrestling. And then I'm going to put Go Firebirds. It won't fit this way, clearly, with my writing, so I'm going to go this way. Just fit. Oh, that's hilarious to me. And that stuff, honestly, like that little G down there. Okay, please let go of the perfectionism. Let go of this notion that things have to be, this isn't an advertisement. It's not going to show on a local cable channel or TV. It's not going to be showing in a magazine. It is for me. It is for me. I'm not even sure that my family will ever look at this. It is craft therapy time for me. Happy memories with this weekend. Happy playing with papers and paper clips and glues and washi tape and putting things down. I'm loving this page, and I would not, just please do not let something like that irritate you. In fact, it should just make you giggle. Like, it's silly and it's goofy, and that G, that dropped G shouldn't be there, but it is there. It shows the reality of life and that I'm human and I'm not doing this to be perfect. I'm doing this to just love on my book and to keep things. So there you have it. Part 3. We conquered the very first, I can't believe it. We conquered the very first spread inside this Junky Junk Journal. I'll have to come up, I may end up calling it a keepsake journal, because really that is what it is for me. Junky Junk Journal, it just is kind of clever, and this is all the stuff that other people would normally throw out, I think. But I would love to meet those of you who are out there who keep these kind of things. Please tell me in the comments. I want to meet you. I want to say hello. I want to give you a high five in the comments. I'll have to think about what I want to call this. the type of name that I want. If you have suggestions, please let me know. Junky journal because we're throwing out this stuff. No, we're keeping it. Or keepsake journal because I'm keeping the things that bring me happy. It's a happy memory. So when I see these things, it brings me a happy memory of a great weekend of family time and wrestling. So that makes a lot of sense. But you give me your suggestions in the comments. I would love to hear them. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Don't forget to subscribe, please, to the channel and hit that bell so that you can change your notifications and you don't miss a thing.